Welcome to the building site of the future. I mean, why change? What we've been doing works fine, right? If you walk through any design office or any site and say, are you ready for an epidemic change? They're going to say no. So if it ain't fixed, don't break it. What we're doing works fine. But is that really enough, given the external and social pressures that's under our industry at the moment? If you look at the productivity of construction over the last 20 years, it doesn't look great. And if you compare even just the UK to the international, then it looks really bad. And while this stops at 2013, there is a study from the Office of National Statistics released in 2017 that says that the industry, the construction sector, is one of the lowest productivity. So, judging by the GLA paper, Design, Seal, Delivered, which asks for innovation and collaboration, things are saying we need to change. There's further drivers. I'm sure we're all aware of Mark Farmer's report where he highlights our ill health of our industry and says we need to modernize or die. So what can we do? But above all of this, I believe we're failing society. As an industry, we are failing. We have an opportunity to make people happy, healthier, create spaces and reduce pollution. We need to respond quicker and be more adaptive. We need to embrace this seismic change and move with it. It's probably enough doom and gloom for this morning. How can we solve it? What can we do that's different? One that's particularly passionate to me is the off-site manufacture of cross-laminated timber. I've been in this area for about 6-7 years now, and when you see how clean a site can be, it's spectacular. Again, another opportunity is precast concrete. This is a Rogers building, Murano residence, all precast, all brought in from off. A third option, modular steel. So how does this really, what's the difference? What can change? So you've got a site, you want to develop it. You're going to put 3,000 meter square GIA on there. That's 100 trucks for traditional concrete. You choose precast, you're down to 85. You go for a volumetric steel approach, that's 65 trucks. And my personal favorite, cross-laminated timber, you've got 25 trucks. Think of sound pollution, think of air pollution, road congestion, time on site, cost and logistics. You might think this is new, a bit scary. It's not. When I talk to my Scandinavian colleagues, they think, wow, you're making brave changes to go precast. We've been doing it for the last 30 years. We had a skill shortage. We needed higher quality. 95% of construction in Scandinavia is off-site. And I think our biggest challenge is our preconceptions. How do we change the view of what people think of off-site construction? The era of the prefab is dead. We now make places with homes within them. And if you think you can't push the boundaries of an architect, this is the Bella Sky building in Copenhagen. Ramboll were the engineers. I promised one plug, that's it. You can create, it's the largest leaning precast building there is. So I hope I've convinced you that off-site is a way forward. But is it enough? I don't think so. So we've increased the time at which we can produce the time on site, but now we really need to compress that design, get the decisions in quicker. And if you haven't picked it up by the last few days or watching the news, we're in the middle of a third revolution. And as an industry, we're probably quite late to this party. So, 2008, this picture is of the UBS trading floor in Connecticut. It's the size of a football pitch. 5,000 traders work here. You're probably wondering, what does this have to do with the construction industry, right? The answer is absolutely everything. The picture was taken before the crisis. This is 2016, post-crisis. What do they need to do? They needed to de-risk, increase efficiency, and do more at a lower cost. Does that sound familiar to the construction industry? Absolutely. Britain is in the grip of a housing crisis. As an industry, we're under pressure to reduce risk and increase productivity. Change is never going to be easy or comfortable. As this slide shows, we need to adapt, change the labor requirements, and alter. Disruption by its nature is unpopular because of the dislocation they bring. Looking at the drives that hit the financial industry, they're very similar to what hits our clients and our own industry. We want to manage risk, we want to leverage technology, and we need higher quality. So again, I think we need to modernize through digitalization. Our MD says, this is design, engineering, and construction the way it should be. If we look at that early site, how do we do the massing? Traditionally, a series of sketches, plenty of collaboration. Now, let's run it through a script. Let's generate those options as quick as we can. What are our drivers? What do we need? Is it right of light? Is it GIA? 5,000 options available. Now we can tease through those options. Say it is craneage, it's speed to site, it's GIA, it's the right of light. You want views to the park, you want to view the shard. How do you optimize the space you have? And while you're at it, let's run those difficult tests that often happen down the line of design. A wind velocity model, wind pressure, thermal modeling, shade modeling. How often have you designed a building and got it to a point where actually it doesn't pass the wind tests, and now, as a colleague says, you've got to put lipstick on a pig and put canopies and balconies on this space? So we believe that with working both, we escalate and solve the problem quicker. And again, this is nothing new. Engineers have been designing to code for hundreds of years. We used to use a logarithmic scale. Then we got really fancy and started using Excel. We got a few answers, we were closer to the right one. Now we can run through this in a script and spit out the 5,000 answers and pick what we need. By doing so, we de-risk the design. We get the answers early. We allow the design to flow and pick the right solution for the building. This is a tool we've created, a dashboard. You have it in a design team meeting. You give it to the client. What do you want? You want to move that column? You want to change the space? This is the load. This is how it impacts the column. Does the column still work? Are we going to have to increase the load capacity of the foundations? We can tell you the change immediately. So this was titled Welcome to the Building Site of the Future. I believe we're already there. Thank you.